At the Sea of Galilee, the morning light lay silver across the water when Jesus called two brothers, Peter and Andrew, while they were mending their nets. Their hands were rough, their work familiar, and their future, as far as they knew, was already set. Then Jesus said, very simply, "Follow me." They looked at one another. The boats were behind them, the nets in their hands, and the voice of the teacher before them. It was not the voice of a merchant offering a better trade, nor of a ruler demanding tribute. It was the voice of the one who had already passed through villages healing the sick, casting out demons, and proclaiming God's kingdom. The call was not to admire him from the shore, but to walk after him. Peter hesitated only a moment. He thought of his father's expectations, of the fish that must be sold, of the safety of a known life. Andrew thought of the same things, and of something deeper, the quiet hunger in his soul that no catch of fish had ever satisfied. Then they left the nets. Not because the nets were evil, but because Jesus was greater. Farther along the shore, Jesus found James and John in a boat with their father, mending the torn places that hard work always makes. Their father looked up, surprised, as the sun stood at once. For a moment the workshop of their old life grew still. Jesus had not merely invited them to a religious lesson, he had summoned them into a new way of being. They would learn from him, watch his mercy, hear his words, and one day carry his message to others. The road with Jesus was not easy. When he spoke of the cross, the disciples did not understand. They had hoped for honor, but Jesus spoke of surrender. They had imagined crowns, but Jesus pointed to sacrifice. Yet as they walked with him, they slowly learned that to lose one's life for his sake is to find it. The fisherman learned that a man is not made great by what he keeps, but by whom he follows. One evening, after a long day of teaching and serving, Peter said quietly, "Lord, we left everything to follow you." Jesus looked at him with the tenderness of a shepherd and the authority of a king. "No one who leaves house or brothers or sisters or father or mother or fields for my sake and for the gospel will fail to receive far more," he said. Peter did not yet grasp how true those words were. The family of God, the joy of obedience, the peace of belonging to Christ, these were treasures he could not have seen from the shoreline. And so the disciples learned that following Jesus means more than agreeing with him. It means trusting him enough to obey when the path is costly, stepping away from lesser things, carrying the burdens he gives, and becoming like the one who came not to be served but to serve. The lesson of the story is this: a true disciple is one who leaves behind lesser loyalties, denies self, takes up the cross, and follows Jesus with the whole life, because only he is worthy of complete devotion.